Right. How's it going, you lot? Got a couple of little parcels here. So I gave my good hedge trimmer away last year sometime, and I kept this other one that was new, but I'd never used it. Blah blah blah, and it keeps breaking. So I've been on the lookout for some parts to repair that one. Haven't really come across any. Then I was on the lookout for a good second-hand edge trimmer, because I've got some edges around here to cut, you may have noticed. And also I cut edges for friends and family, and just maintain gardens for friends and family when I can. But all the prices for second-hand edge cutters, steel ones, Hyundai ones, whatever ones, you know, they were a lot of money. And I'm thinking, blimey, let's have a look to see if I can get a new one, a brand spanking new one, for somewhere near this amount of money. And where do you go when you want something that you can rely on but at a reasonable price? SGS. Some of you may know that I quite like SGS, but that is a bit of an understatement. I really like SGS. I've had SGS stuff for more than 10 years. More than 10 years. About 12, 13 years I've had SGS stuff when I found them that one time. Got toolboxes. I've got their 52cc bush cutter strimmer, the big bastard with the handles like that. And I've got, what else have I got? Compressors and tools and all kinds of things. So I thought, alright, I like this strimmer, that's a good one. Let's have a look at the multi-tool. So this one, it's a chainsaw, an edge cutter, a bush cutter, as well as a trimmer. Well, they call a trimmer a strimmer, you know, it's got one handle. So the way I do my reviews, we're going to do a review on it obviously. The way I do my reviews is we do a little bit of an unboxing. We admire the packaging because that's quite important. SGS stuff usually comes in a black box with SGS written on it. Quite simple but effective. And then we have a look at it, we fire it up, and we go from there. And then later on, once I've used it a bit, I'll come back and I'll do like the proper what's it like using it review kind of thing. But I like doing these little unboxings because I don't know about you, but when I want to buy something and it's a lot of money, like, you know, at the time of buying this, it's a reasonable price, and it was on a sale as well. So for the same price as the one without the two-stroke oil, you can get the one with two-stroke oil as well. And I always go for that because, well, it's the same price as without, so it's a no-brainer, you know. If you get the one without, you're missing out on something which would be free essentially, because it's the same price as with. Yeah, saves me going out and buying two-stroke oil as well. So we'll have a look at this, see what we get. This is what it's like in the box. These unboxings are quite handy for you lot, because you can see what it's like when you open the box, yeah, and not just being used, but you can see what it's like. And I find that brilliant. It helps me sometimes if I want to buy something and I think, I wonder what that comes like in the box, you know, was it packaged like, you know. And sometimes if I find one where they've shown it in the box, I find it great. So let's have a look in the box. Don't be shy. Let's just have a look. Come on. There we go. Lovely, isn't it? Beautiful. I don't think you could ask for any better than that, even if you wanted to. You wouldn't get any better. So, what you get a little mixing bottle. For those of you that aren't all that experienced in mixing your petrol and your oil up, you get a little bottle, so that's quite handy. I've got 6,072,000 of these, so I'll probably give that to somebody. You get a little pair of safety glasses, that's really good. I'll be using them. I've got 94.89 million safety glasses, but I like using ones that come with stuff sometimes. Now you get your harness. Be interesting to see what this harness is like, because with the other strimmer, the 52cc, the one with the handles, the harness was the worst point of it. That was the bad point. The rest of it was fine. I didn't like the harness, so we'll see what this harness is like, whether they've changed their design or whatever. Now I think that was the only bad thing I had to say about it. But the thing is, sometimes if you say one bad thing about a product, people get the wrong end of the stick. And when you say, oh, this is a good product, they go, hold on a minute, you said it weren't any good because of that. And you think to yourself, no, I pointed out the things I didn't like very much. Doesn't mean that it ain't no good, does it? Just something that I thought wasn't all that good. But anyway, this is the bush cutter blade that you get with it. These are great. I've got 3 or 4 of these with the other strimmer. So this is just going to be a spare one for this, which is going to be good. Happy days. Couldn't ask for better than that, really. So we've got that's our strimmer head. Obviously you put the strimmer on the end. You have to put most of it together because obviously it comes in a box, doesn't it? You know, you've got to put it together. What else have we got? This looks like this might be our pole saw pole. We put a chainsaw bar on the end of that, I would have thought, because it's got the little tub, little can for your oil. Chainsaw bar. There's the instructions in case you need to read that. I'll probably be able to read it because I don't know anything at all. I know absolutely nothing. Chainsaw bar with cover. No chain on it yet though, got to put the chain on. Got a nice pair of gloves. This is nice, you know what I mean? When you buy one of these, you get everything. I mean, I haven't bought a steel chainsaw or anything for a long time, but the last time I did, you didn't get gloves and glasses with it. So the good thing is with SGS stuff, you get gloves, you get glasses, you get oil. The only thing you don't get is your petrol. You've got to go and buy your petrol, but you get everything else you need. So, you know, it really is a ready to run situation. And there's your chain for the old chainsaw. What else we got? Little toolkit. I've got probably 4 or 5 of these. I've got with all different tools and things that I've bought over the years from SGS. Pretty much the same thing in every one, but they're really handy, and I always keep it in the tool bag because there's always a time, look, you've got spare bolts and things as well in there. There's always a time when you've got your toolbox with you, you're out about doing a job or something, and there's one nut or bolt and you're missing the 8mm, or you're missing something out your tool chest or whatever. You get your little tool bag open, you go, and you go, there, that's brilliant. I've got 8mm spanner there. There you go. That's what I need. Someone's nicked the one out of my tool chest, but I've got one in here. It's very handy to have, and because it's bigger, you can put other tools in it as well. So you don't have to keep what's in it. You can put other spanners and things in this little bag and keep it with you. You know, you might be out on a long walk doing some strimming and that, and you don't want to carry a big toolbox with you, but you've got this little bag. You fill it full of spanners, spare spark plug, and whatever else. Put it in your pocket. You know, quite often put these in my pocket like that, you know, as I'm going along, whatever you want to do, and you've got some tools with you. It's quite a handy little bag. I don't think people really realise how handy those little bags are. Ear defenders. I've never used these ones that come with this SGS stuff, so I don't know whether these are any good. I've got some pretty good quality ones that I use, but these might be alright, so they're better than nothing, put it that way. Definitely better than nothing, that's for sure. You've got to have ear defenders when you're doing strimming and that, because otherwise, well, if you're doing a full day of strimming, you're going to have a bad head at the end, bad ears. You know, you're going to be, your ears aren't, they're not going to thank you. I've been there, trust me, I've been there. You need ear defenders. When I was younger, I used to be like, no, I don't need them, I don't need them. I'd get home and my ears would be aching, and I'd be like, oh man, I should have worn ear defenders. You know, I'm probably going to go deaf now when I'm 70, but you know. So we got all the parts, handles, things. There's our hedge trimmer blade and pole. I'm going to put it all together in a minute. This is our extension pole. It's meant to have a little cap on it, look, but it fell off. There's a little cap. There we go. This is the extension pole for your pole saw or for your edge trimmer, whatever you want to do. I don't know whether you can put it on the end for your strimmer. If you're really tall, you might want to, I don't know. Right, let's get this box out of the way. I'm going to put it all together. I'm going to put it in the configuration. I'm going to put it in the configuration of hedge cutter because that's what I need to use it as first. So I'm going to put it in hedge cutting configuration, fire it up and see what it's all about. Right, come on then. You go and make yourself a cup of tea or something while I just quickly do that. Alright you lot, it's a bit nasty round here at the moment because we just had so much rain, everything's soaking wet. I'm not going to be doing any strimming for a while, but it's nice to get these things together. I'm just putting the guard on the strimmer what do you call it? Strimmer tool, strimmer pole, whatever you want to call it. I'm putting the guard on it, and I'm going to put the thing on it, and the spool. I'm not going to have it in bush cutter mode. I don't need that. My plan, I know I've got bush cutter mode capable on this one, but this is a 52cc strimmer. Like, it's got 52cc. You don't need that really. It's a bit much for what I need hedge cutting wise. I'm mainly going to use this in hedge cutting mode, possibly pole saw mode. Maybe a bit of strimming if I need lighter strimmer work. But my other strimmer, the big bastard, one with the handles, the industrial looking one. That one is I'll keep in bush cutter mode because I do quite a bit of bush cutting with that. But that thing's, you know, it's immense. You know what? I've recommended these to quite a few gardeners and whatever else. You know, when they say to me, what brand would you say? They always go with Stihl or Husqvarna because they're the main brands. You know, everyone goes for them for reliability. They're a lot more money, but they're reliable. And if they break, the parts are there. You can just go down any mower shop and get a part, whatever. You can't just go down any mower shop and get an SGS part. But most parts are pretty generic. I mean, it's just a 2-stroke engine, strimmer engine. These are pretty generic. You know, so the price compared to parts availability is a bit, you know, but the thing is, all you got to do, SGS, they sell everything as a part that you might need. I mean, on my other strimmer, I needed one of these. Just bought one. In fact, they sent me one for free because it broke straight away. Then after that, it's been completely fine, and I bought another one as a spare. What happened? On the other one, this grease nipple snapped off inside there. The first time I went to grease it, they sent the whole thing out, whole one of them they sent out. But you can buy the whole lot. You can buy every single part from SGS. The only thing is you've got to have it delivered. But if you live near them, you can go and pick it up, I think. You can go into the actual shop and pick one up. So if you live near them, it's brilliant. Now, I've recommended these to quite a lot of gardeners, and I know some that have bought them. And they use an SGS strimmer. I think one of them's got an SGS mower, lawn mower, the obviously 4-stroke. Shame they don't make a 2-stroke. That would be great if they did, but it's all 4-stroke nowadays, isn't it? And he uses it every day to cut people's grass, and it ain't let him down yet, and I think he's had it about 3 or 4 years. Something like that, anyway. So, you know, these are good. Well, you always have a backup anyway, don't you? If it's your livelihood, you have a backup of whatever tool it is you've got. If you cut grass, you have 2 mowers, don't you? You know, you have 2 strimmers. If one breaks and you're on a job, you can finish the job off with your spare backup one and then go and mend your main one, you know. Maybe that's just me anyway, it's what I do. But yeah, these things are bloody good, especially for the price. I mean, this whole multi-tool, 150 quid, yeah, for everything, 150 quid, yeah, brand new as well, with oil. Can't knock it, really. You can't knock it. Anyway, I'm putting this together. I've already put the hedge cutter on it. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how you do it. It's bloody simple, right? I'm going to show you how you attach the poles, the different things. Very simple. You've got a little square you line up, clip in, do it up, away you go. I'm just putting everything together, and then we'll go through it all. I'll stick a bit of petrol in it and some oil, and we'll fire it up. It's a different design engine to my other one, because my other one's fairly old now. It's probably, well, I think I bought that. When did I buy the other one? I think it was around 2012. I might be wrong, but around 2012. I'm trying to think how old the kids are, because what age were the kids when I bought it? About 2012 I bought the other strimmer, and a different design to that one. This one's a bit more sleek, but listen, that other one's still going strong, and I don't go easy on them. I don't go easy on them. If I'm doing a job, I'm doing a job. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right, so excuse the mess over this side. I've got an old bed frame that I've got to break up and burn, so I'll put that there for a minute. Got some petrol, we'll get the, I've got to undo the oil yet. But what I've done is, I put everything together. The only thing I've done is put the strimmer head on, because that bolt's tight and I need to hold it with something, so that I can do that. But, let's open this up. Forgot I hadn't opened this up yet. This is a little box with, I'm assuming it's got the 2-stroke oil in it. The only thing that I haven't seen yet is any, what's this, Rika. Oh, that's their brand of screws and other stuff. The only thing I haven't seen, I haven't put the handle on yet, the only thing I haven't seen is any bar oil for your chainsaw. Alright, so you don't get bar oil, but we've got 2-stroke oil, because that was part of the sale deal thing. But you need to supply your own bar oil for your chainsaw if you want to do your chainsaw. This Rika thing, it's like their range of screws and drill bits, and you know, they got hoodies and boots and circular saw blades and sealants and stuff like that. I've never tried it, so I can't say whether I recommend it or anything like that. I've never tried Rika. Quality fixings for the building trade. Might have to give them a go one day. But yeah, I've seen them advertised a little bit. Right, I've just realised I haven't put the handle on yet. So I've just put the handle on. Hopefully the nuts and bolts are somewhere. And then we'll be back again. Just putting this handle on, and in case you were wondering and you haven't read the instructions, the nut and bolts are in your tool bag. Put your bolts through, and they're captive nuts. So the nuts just press into the back of there. They're captive, they are. I've got a lot of mud everywhere around here, so everything's getting muddy, but that's just the way it is, you know what I mean? It's going to get a lot dirtier when I'm using it, so it's not the end of the world. Nut and bolts are in the tool bag. It's quite a nifty way of doing it, really. I don't know what that's for. It's quite a cool way of doing it, really. Put your nut and bolts in your tool bag that way. You know, we ain't got to supply plastic bags full of nuts and bolts. That's pretty clever. I like that. I like that. I don't know who comes up with all the ideas over at SGS, but they seem to do fairly well at it. You know, they do seem to do fairly well at it. Right, and then that goes on like that, I think. Bolt goes through there. And we get our Allen key, and we should just be able to do it up. Oh, until the nut falls out, you've got to hold it. And just do it up. Right, now I don't normally measure with my 2-stroke oil properly. I just put some in a tank, blah blah blah, mix that, away we go. But for the purposes of this, and if you've bought this for the first time, and you know you're not used to 2-strokes, you know how to mix the oil and all that. So I do get a lot of questions. How do I mix 2-stroke oil? So you get this little thing with it. You put the petrol up that line where it says fuel, there. And then it depends what you want to run. Do you want to run 25 to 1 or 40 to 1? 40 to 1 is less oil, and 25 to 1 is more oil. I like to run a lot of oil all the time, because then I know that it's definitely being lubricated. A bit of extra smoke I don't care about, and it's very rare that a plug gets fouled anyway, especially if you're revving it a lot, which you will be if you're working. So I'm going to do 25 to 1. Don't know what the book recommends, probably 50 to 1, because that's what a lot of places recommend, 50 to 1, but 25 is what I'm going to do. So that means we need to do it up to that line. I need to do it slightly higher than the line because the fuel was a bit high. And we're using the SGS 2-stroke oil as well. Now all you got to do, don't forget this is for a litre. If you're going to do more than a litre, you've got to do a bit more. But put the lid on, make sure the lid's nice and tight, otherwise you're going to get a face full of petrol, and that's not always a good thing. It tastes a bit funny these days. It don't taste like it used to. Anyway, that lid doesn't seal in the slightest, but give it a shake up, make sure you shook it up nicely. That way you get all of it gone into your tank when you pour it in. Very, very simple. No need to be scared of a 2-stroke engine. A lot of people are. There's no need to be. Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am for this. I love firing a new engine up for the first time ever. It is excellent. So we'll undo our little cap. pour in our petroleum mix. You know, I think a lot of places in America you can get this two-stroke already mixed in a bloody can. I mean, what's that all about? Ready mixed petrol. Unbelievable. We do it the proper way over here. We mix it up ourselves. Right. Let's fire this engine up for the first time and see how it runs. A brand spanking new SGS engineering strimmer, hedge cutter, whatever you want to call it. Do a few primes until we get a little petrol come up in the bulb. There it is. It says 10 times prime. That seems a bit much to me, but we'll do what it says. It's obviously, because it's got a return line anyway, it's not going to make any difference. It'll just go back in the tank again. Right, choke. On. Switch on. Here we go. What's the throttle like? Yeah, that's not stuck open, that's good. Let's see what we get. Oh! What a beauty! What an absolute beauty. Now, it's going to fall off here. Don't let it do that. Don't let it fall off here. Don't go there. Lovely. That is absolutely wonderful. Now, you've got to remember, it's a brand spanking new engine, so it's going to need running in. A lot of people don't bother running strimmers and hedge cutters and chainsaws and all that in. They just go flat out straight away, which is fine. I've done the same. They're all right. But I like to run stuff in, and so you need to go a little period of just letting it run for a little bit, let it warm up, cut the hedge or whatever it is you're going to do, a bit of light work. Not light, you want to make it work. You really want to make it work when you're running it in. But what I mean is, don't rev the nuts out of it. A lot of people are flat out all the time. Just go easy on it, but make it work. Yeah, heavy grass if you're strimming. Well, you can't really cut a heavy bush, I suppose, but you know what I mean. Make it work hard. If you've got the pole saw on it, go through a nice thick branch for a little while, you know what I mean. Make it work. 52cc, man, that's a hefty engine. You can do a lot of work with that. And all these bits and bobs, this is a fantastic tool. It's a bit, as you can see by the mud everywhere and the water, it's a little bit muddy and wet here. But anyway, yeah, there we go. So far, I'm really pleased with it, but this was just an unboxing. I wanted you to see what it looks like when you unbox it. We fired it up, we put the hedge trimmer on it. Oh, I didn't show you how easy it is to undo it. Look, you just undo this bolt, right, and then you push that in. There it goes. We've detached hedge cutter. And if you want to put the strimmer thing on, you just put that in there, do the little nut up, away you go, you're now strimming. Yeah. If you want to do a bit of pole sawing, bit of chainsaw, same thing. And if you want to go back, look, I bet I can do it with one hand. Probably can't now because I said I think I can. Look, one hand, hedge cutter, reconnected. Probably not. There we go, look, one hand. Is it in? Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, I didn't film it, I was filming the floor. There we go, look, I've done it with one hand. One-handed. And we put the hedge trimming tool back on again. Brilliant. So there we go. There's going to be some videos of this working coming up, and also after I've used it for a while, we'll see if anything breaks. If anything breaks, you're going to be the first to know, because I'll be showing you lot mending it. And after I've used it for a while, probably in a month or so, a couple of months time, when the spring and the summer starts to turn up and we get grass growing, I can go strimming, more hedges to cut, and I've got quite a few trees I need to be lopping limbs off of as well, so we'll be using the pole saw, that's for sure. We'll sit down and I'll tell you my thoughts on it. You know, is it worth it? You know, is it reliable and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there we go. In the meantime, SGS stuff, go and have a look at it. I'll put the link to their website in the description. They're not sponsor me or nothing like that, but if I find a product that I like, or brand or company that I like, I do like to share it as much as I can, because, you know, more people that hear about companies and products and brands, the better, because then they keep making stuff, they keep making good stuff, because otherwise all the good stuff's going to die out and we're going to be left with all the crap. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to keep these people going, you've got to support them, because without us buying their stuff, they wouldn't be there and we wouldn't have any good stuff. So I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. SGS pole saw combination multi-tool, whatever you want to call it. There it is. I'll see you later. I want to get my hands on one of the lawnmowers at one point, cut some grass, but I don't need another lawnmower because I've already got one. But the temptation to get one just to see what it's like is quite high. I've got quite a lot of big lawns for people that I could go and cut and give it a real good test. Maybe I'll get one in the summer. They're cheap enough. I'll see you later. All the best. Take care, you lot. Remember, be nice to people. Don't take people's kindness and generosity for granted. And we'll all have a good life. Cheerio.